Hey guys. Okay, so we're gonna start over. We're just doing it over. Hey y'all, if you guys are new here, I'm Antoinette. I'm a real estate investor, credit repair specialist, and business funding expert. I have a really specific skill set. This is my software. It is called the Parcel Finder. It is the only due diligence platform that you need if you're looking to invest in tax liens and tax deeds, or if you are a wholesaler. You have unlimited data downloads here. I want to show you guys some of the capabilities, so I wanted to go live today and share this with you. So when I first started off, a lot of you guys were asking me, do I have a software? And at the time I didn't have a software, and I was like, nah, you don't need software. Like, why y'all need software? I was just like, nah. But then I got an opportunity to partner with a company that primarily only works with hedge funds. So this software is not just available to the general public. It's usually an enterprise, what they call enterprise kind of tool. So if you want to invest like a hedge fund, this will be a great tool for you to use. There are two different access level points. So you can get it where it just has this map, which is the tax lien and tax deed map. So just to show you guys real quick, there are tax lien and tax deed states, okay? And this is a quick, just a quick map, but the blue states say they sell tax liens, but in reality, Florida sells both liens and deeds. This is a different map from the one that I normally show, but you can kind of get an idea for who sells liens, who sells deeds, and then they are enabling legislation for them to sell liens. Okay, so this is a different map from the one that I normally show, because this one doesn't highlight the tax deed states. It just talks about states that sell liens, that do not sell liens, states that enable legislation to sell liens, and then states that are allowing tax loans. That's a little bit more advanced. I'm not going to get into that right now. I want to show you guys the map. Right now, we feature 30 states on the Parcel Finder where you can invest in tax liens, tax deeds, foreclosures, REOs, or county held. Now, what REOs are real estate owned. Real estate owned means that this is a private marketplace of properties that is only listed on this software. Okay, so if you have this software at the platinum level, you would be able to just buy properties directly off the software. I have personally done it. I bought a house for $3,000 and ended up selling it for $25,000. Sight unseen, just did the deal. That's another story. But today I want to get into the actual functionality of this software. If you guys have questions, please drop it in the chat for me so I could address your specific questions so that we can make this very, very useful for you guys. Thank you, The Land Point. What's up, Eloy? I haven't seen you in forever. Yes, so just to show you guys, this is the actual map where you can see like the actual states that are having sales, right? But if you wanted to, you could just click down here and then you can see all of the states that are having lien sales, deed sales. You see tax liens, tax deeds, county held, foreclosures, REO, then it says total, and then market value. So we just added Michigan, a couple of counties in Michigan. Now, just because a state is there doesn't mean that every single county is there. So just keep that in mind. I'll show you the way that we can circumvent that later. But right now I'm just focusing on the tax lien, tax deed side of things. So we just had these properties go up. So Michigan is having a tax deed sale. So for example, if I wanted to go to, who has a good amount? Kalamazoo, Michigan, right? Kalamazoo, Michigan. Michigan is a great state for low priced inventory. But if I clicked on the actual 36 properties that are being auctioned, I can see all of the 36 properties listed here. So if I wanted to, I can kind of search based off of the map. Like if you're familiar with certain parts of Michigan, you can say, oh yeah, I want properties in this specific area. Now a super cool feature is, let's just say if I wanted properties within a specific radius, right? Again, this is for you map geography people that are really good with maps. You can actually do like a polygon feature and you can search just that selected area, and then it'll bring up the properties on the other side. So these are the properties that are being auctioned off within that specific polygon search area. So you can search by, again, a specific area. You can search by just the actual properties. So here, if I just remove this, right? So I can remove that and then just go back to the actual properties that are being auctioned, which are 36 properties in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Okay. Now let's say, see, this gives, what I love about this is that when you're looking at a list of tax auctions or tax properties, sometimes it could just be overwhelming. And then sometimes like counties will list it in a really ugly way. What I mean by ugly is like they will dead ass put the parcel numbers next to the addresses, next to the legal description with no spaces in a newspaper printout. So it just looks like writing from the Matrix. You're like, what exactly am I looking at? So I think this does a really great job of helping you to see what exactly you're looking at. It speeds up the time with which you're doing your research. So I got your question in Land Point. I'll answer that in just a second. So you can literally like just click on a property, and then the property card is going to pull up. So when you see the property card, you can actually see like, hey, okay, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. That's 900 square feet. Okay, great. On a 0.20 acre plot of land. Cool. So now we could take a look at it on the map. You can get specific property data. So you get the satellite view and the map view, which is awesome. For me, this really helps to cut down my due diligence time. And then the other thing that I really love is that you can just do comps. So Kalamazoo is a slow moving area. So I'm going to increase the square footage to 6,000 square feet, which is close to like a mile. And I'm going to look for comps in the area. Now, if it doesn't pull up any comps, maybe we just need to put in more specific touch points. But sometimes in a market, there may not have been a lot of sales because there just hasn't been a lot of sales in that area. You can always comp out manually if you need to, but I'll show you another example of that later. But yeah, you have your property card. You can see zoning, you can see valuation, you can see the opening bid. It'll give you the market value. So you have a really clear understanding. Like the opening bid for this property is $14,000. They have the assessed value at $23,000, and straight from the software, you can click here and go directly to the auction site, which is tax-sale.info. So you can literally go to the auction site and get ready to bid on it. So I think that's super, super cool. That's just a really quick glimpse of that property. Now, if you wanted to, you can actually save the property to your list and download your list later. You can favorite it, create a list, do your actual bids, like calculate how much you want to bid on it, and then download that list, and it'll download in an Excel spreadsheet, so that when you actually go to the auction, like this, that's a great feature for if you're going to in-person auctions. You'll have your list right there, and it's like, hey, I said I was gonna do this much, I was gonna bid this much. I have already done my research, so it's less confusion. Don't underestimate the amount of confusion that can come on auction day. So this is a super great tool to streamline your due diligence process. Now, the Land Point, you asked the question about how many counties does it have in Florida. I think it has all of the counties, to be honest. Florida is one of our states where we have a ton of data. So we have, I'm not sure when you came in, but we have 30 states listed on this software. Now, not every state has every single county or parish or borough, right? But we are constantly adding new data every day. So for Florida, we have a literal ton of information. So you can see the tax deed sales, the tax lien sales, have already taken place, but you can still get over-the-counter tax lien certificates at any point in time if they are available. So here you can see Duval County has like 85 properties that are being sold. Let me see. And so these are the tax deeds, and then this is the foreclosure. So you can see tax deeds and foreclosures. Now, understand tax deeds sales and foreclosure sales are totally different. So that's going to be a different training for a different day. But if you are participating in foreclosure sales, you will also have access to the foreclosure properties. So here, let's just say if I hit Duval County, and I can go and see their 85 properties that are being auctioned. Now, one thing that I wanted to note is sometimes you'll see past data on this as well. So you want to make sure, like when you're setting your auction, let me move this chat box real quick. Oops, sorry. Make it big. Make it big. All right. When you're setting your auction criteria, like if you wanted to search for, let's say you were like, hey, I only want to do homes. I'm specifically only looking for homes. You can literally change the zoning to say, hey, I'm only looking for residential. If you only wanted to do vacant land, you can say, hey, I'm looking for vacant land. If you only wanted 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses, if you only wanted online auctions, you could say, hey, I want to sort it by online auctions. You can also set the size of it if it's like in terms of acres or square footage. One thing that I like to do is set the status to available. If it's available, that means that it's still coming up on the auction. I don't like to do closed because closed means that that auction has already passed. So I will just set it to available. That's something that I always just set it to. And then I can see, hey, these properties are coming up for sale in 19 days. So boom, I have a very clear view. Now, just because there are 85 properties on the list now doesn't mean that 85 properties are going to make it to the tax sale, because as we all know, tax defaulted properties frequently redeem. Okay, they frequently redeem. Like, so in terms of like, hey, if there are 85 properties today and in 20 days from now, like 40 of these might make it to the actual auction. So we're constantly updating the information. But if you see something on here and then you're like, hey, let me go double check with Duval County, and it's not there, it just means that we have to still update our data, because it's a constant data syncing that has to happen. And we grab the information directly from the counties. So let's say, for example, what am I looking at here? I'm just going to click on a random property and take a look at the property card. So this is showing that, what am I looking at? This looks like a house. Oh, it's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house that is being auctioned. And if you click here, it says bid at jurisdiction site. It will take you directly to real auction. So then you would just have to log in. That's where you would have to bid anyway, guys. So it would take you directly to real auction. That is the auction site. That's where you would have to bid. So if you wanted to go straight to the property appraiser site, you can click right here to take you straight to the property appraiser site. You can also order title searches if you wanted to order a title search for the property. And you can order drive-by inspections. Now, the drive-by inspections is not available everywhere, but you can always check to see if they service that particular area. Well, definitely it is more helpful for if you're investing in like homes. I would absolutely recommend that you invest in homes and get eyes on the property. Like, I never recommend that you invest in a home and bid on it sight unseen, which is another reason why I like to do land. But yeah. So just doing this real quick. Let me see if this pulls up any comps. This Jacksonville should have a little bit more comps. Let's see, 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Let's do 6,000 square feet. 6,000 feet. Let me see if it pulls up anything here. So it did pull up one comp of a 3-bedroom, 2 bath that is 4,800 feet away, and it shows that this house sold for $145,000 in 2020. Now the assessed market value was at $300,000. So just based off of this information, you can kind of say, okay, well, hey, I know that this property is going to be at least worth $300,000. But to be honest, a 3-2 comp, I just threw in 3-2. If this property truly is a 5-2, then obviously those comps are going to be higher, and it could just be that there are no other 5-2s in the area. Not to mention, it's on a colder side. This looks like a nice little property. The odds that this property is going to actually make it to the auction are very low, though. Just my opinion, because a lot of times properties like this don't make it to the auction because people will pay their back taxes and it won't make it to the auction. But if it did, baby, that would be sweet. So just giving you guys an overview of how to use this tool. Again, this is just the tax lien tax deed side of the map. Okay, so there are actually 2 different maps in here. If I wanted to go, and let's say my particular state or county is not on the national map, which features all of the tax liens, tax deeds, foreclosures, and county helds. If your particular state or county is not on there, fear not. We actually have a second map that is just complete nationwide data. So what that means is, imagine PropStream meets tax lien, tax deed investing. Okay. That's basically what it is. We have nationwide data where you can put in, you can search by the county, the city, the zip code, the APN, or the full address. Nationwide, I can literally click anywhere on this map and start looking at properties. So what I want you guys to do is give me a zip code that you want me to search, a zip code or a city that you guys want me to search, and I will pull it up for you. This is anywhere. And then I will show you the search capabilities of the Digimap. So the first one was the national map. This one is the Digimap. Give me a zip code, or we can also search by state. We can search by address. Thank you, Simply Fab. So I'm going to search 71107. Give it a second. Ooh, we're going to, okay, Louisiana. So I'm going to give it a second to pull up. Rico Del Costa, I got you in a second. All right, so here we have, I looked up zip code 71107. So we see 117 MLS properties. We see 6,000, almost 7,000 cash buyers, 510 vacant properties. We see pre-foreclosures, bank-owned liens, and high equity. If you wanted to search by what we call quick filter, these are going to be your quick filters on the left-hand side. So let's say I just wanted to look up bank-owned properties. Now, I'm just going to click on bank owned, and it's going to filter those search results on the right hand side of things. And now I know that, hey, I'm just looking at bank owned properties. From here, what you can do is either select all of the properties, right? Now, this is one thing that we're working on. You can literally download all 368 of these properties if you wanted to, right? Or what you can do is, like, if you wanted to add this to a list, you can do this, and you can literally click add to list. It'll add it to the list. You can create a new list of, let's say, hey, I'm looking to invest in 71107. This is the list of bank-owned properties that I pulled. Cool. This is your list, okay? You can download it. It has unlimited downloads. But let's say, for example, we want to pull out the property card. Very similar to the other property card, but this one's going to look a little different. You're going to see the owner's name, which obviously is a bank because we did bank-owned properties, right? And you will see the map. You can still see the same data. You can see comps. Now, I will say that on this map, the comps is way more, the mapping information is way more robust. I got to give it a second because right now my computer's running slow. Yeah, but the comps on this one is way more robust. So you'll still be able to get like the map information, and you can still see the street and a satellite view. So you'll get a Bing, and then you'll also get a Google map image. But what I like about this map, again, you can do this with tax defaulted properties. I just happen to select the bank owned, okay? So you can see that it's non-owner occupied. It was a cash purchase. Again, this is a bank-owned property, but you can sort your comps list here by saying like, hey, I only want to find homes, let's say residential, single family, because this property is a single family. So if I come here and I click and I type in single family, so boom, now I'm like, okay, I just want to pull up single family residences. All right. So once you do that, you hit single family residence, and then it's going to pull up all of the comps within a specific area, right? And then it also has Zillow link out. So if you want to go double check pictures, whatever the case is. And sometimes you have to be more specific because you can see one of them is pulling up vacant land, but then other one's single family. But here you can kind of see which properties it's color coded to show you which properties were bought cash, which ones are in foreclosure. So you just get a literal ton of data that really help you to make better decisions when it comes to investing in real estate. So, or whether or not you want to invest in this particular property. So yeah, you can actually save this, you can copy, paste it, you can put it to a list, you can create an address book. You can skip trace the owner's name. In this particular case, we wouldn't have to skip trace the owner's name because this is a bank-owned property, so it is owned by a bank. But let's say we wanted to go to the 225 properties that have liens on them. I would click on liens. Now, the liens don't necessarily mean only tax liens, but it's a good indicator that, hey, if there's a lien on this property, that there might be some sort of issues with the property, and that in itself can mean that the owner is a motivated seller. They might not know they're motivated, but if it has liens, that means that there's an issue with the property. Okay, and we're not just talking about like mortgage liens. It could be a code violation lien, whatever the case is. So we can literally search. This is, again, a quick search by properties that have liens on it. So let me go down to the comments. Thank you. All right. I'm going to get to the next zip code in just a second, Rico. Hopefully you're still here. But you can see all of these properties have liens. So again, randomly going to click on one and take a look. Okay, so here we see a Freddie Thomas. All right, they say that is the owner. The address is 21510 Nunn. Oh, well, I think this doesn't have a street name. Okay, but the mailing address, we have that for the actual owner. So this is probably like vacant land if it doesn't have a street name on it. Yeah, it says a lot. Okay, so this is a vacant lot. And we see that the market value, they have it as $3,120, but it could possibly be more than that, because a lot of times they're not actively like assessing comps in the area, because the market value changes based off of comps. All right. So here we can see another feature that I really love is the linked properties. If an owner owns more than one property, it'll tell you like, hey, this person owns more than one property. And it'll tell you like, hey, based off of this person's name, they might own this, and this. So for wholesalers, that's a great tool, because sometimes you might be calling them about one property and they might say, hey, I got 3 other properties that I want to sell. Now you're like, okay, cool. Now I hit a play. So yeah, that's a super great tool. It also gives information about the last time the property was sold. If it is available, it'll tell you opportunity. If there is, for example, this is a vacant lot, but a lot of times with like homes, it'll tell you if that information is available, how much the estimated monthly rent is, and if there is equity in the property. So if there's a mortgage on the home and the mortgage is $100,000, but the market value is $300,000, it'll tell you the estimated equity is somewhere around $200,000, just because that is the ARV of the home. So just to kind of give you an idea of how you would use this data. A lot of times people get in here and they're just like, I don't know what to do. But if you don't know what you're looking at, then of course you wouldn't know how to use the data. But to me, this tells me a lot about the property. So yeah. Oh, darn it. I closed my chat screen, my chat box. Rico, let me see if I can go back to the zip code. It's 30083. Can I do a pop out? I didn't mean to close that out. 30083. Let's see. All right, we have Georgia. All right, so here we have 143 MLS properties. Now, if a property is on the MLS, that means that it is listed live, okay? Actively trying to be sold. Or it could be that it's an expired listing. But if it's on the MLS, it's on the market. It shows 2 auction properties, 3,847 cash buyers. It's showing 197 vacant properties, 18 pre-foreclosures, 66 bank-owned, 26 properties with liens, and 13,000 high equity properties. So again, you're going to take this data and utilize this data. Trent, great question. You're going to take this data and utilize this data to, number one, streamline your investing, your research, and your due diligence. I think what makes this software unique is the fact that it's like 2 different platforms in one. So imagine if you had PropStream. PropStream does have the capability, like this feature, I call this feature the PropStream feature, because it's very much so like PropStream. It's nationwide data. If you are a tax lien or tax deed investor and you want to invest in a particular state, there's no one software for tax liens and tax deeds that has all 50 states, every single county on them. There's no, the software doesn't exist. Okay. But I think what makes this software cool is even though we have 30 states, we don't have all of the counties. And I'm not even sure if that's something that's really attainable, because not every county, like let's say, has an online sale. There's a lot of different variables that we have to consider when we're talking about like aggregating data and making it so that that data is usable for you. But I think the thing that makes it unique is that you can research any tax lien, tax deed property in any state with this software. You can build out your portfolio. There is a portfolio management feature that helps you to organize your tax lien certificates. So again, this software is primarily used by hedge funds. If you're thinking like a hedge fund, and let's say you have thousands of tax lien certificates, you need to be able to get a snapshot of what that looks like. How much is your portfolio worth? How much have you invested? When do your tax lien certificates redeem? When do your tax lien certificates expire? So that's a super cool feature in itself. But then outside of that, when hedge funds get stuck with the property, they don't actually want to be stuck with the property or manage the property. You can literally buy properties off of the software. Like you don't have to bid, or you don't have to go to a different site to buy properties. You can just buy properties directly off the software. So that's another super cool feature. I'm pretty sure PropStream doesn't have that. Pretty sure none of these tax sale places have that. You don't have to bid on the properties. You can just buy properties. If you see something that you like, and usually they are still under market value. They're not going to be like your, 80% off because you didn't find a deal, but you might still be able to get like $15,000 to $20,000 worth of equity out of the deal. So the fact that you can buy properties directly off of the software, super, super cool feature. In addition to like the tax lien, tax deed side of things. And then lastly, there are no data download caps on this software. So if you have invested in real estate software before, you know that usually there's a data cap. Hey, you can only get 5,000 leads. Hey, you can only do 10,000. And if you want more, you got to pay more, because really the data is where it gets really expensive, right? So there are no data caps here. If you wanted to come in here and you wanted to download 20,000 leads, you can download 20,000 leads. Now, that's another feature that, again, I have not capped as of yet. We will see how that goes, but I haven't capped it. Right now, it's unlimited data downloads. You get 50 free skip traces a month. If you guys are wholesalers, that's a super cool feature. Or even if you're just an avid tax deed investor like me, if you guys know, this is a little gem for you. You don't have to wait for the auction to try to get the property. So the fact that you have free skip traces and you can try to market to these leads ahead of time, super clutch. We are actively building in more features into the software. So this is something that I'm currently building, and the version of this software that exists today exists because I'm a real estate investor and I'm designing this let me see. Okay. Yeah, I had to get my chat window back. I'm designing this in a way that it is usable for investors like myself, because I'm using it. And when I come in here and I'm like, hey, if I notice something, I just call up the developers. I'm like, hey, I need this in here. So even these 30 states, when we first started, we only had 17. And then the more users I get on here, the more leverage I will have for asking for things that we want because we are the users. So again, the skip traces, that was something that I brought in here, and it's something that I'm still building out because I want to make it so that you can have unlimited skip traces. So if you get the platinum level, you can get 50 free skip traces. But my students will tell you, like, before I wasn't offering this software to people outside of my mentorship. Now I offer it as a subscription for people that are really seriously looking to take their tax lien, tax deed investing, or just in general real estate investing to the next level. One of the areas where I spent the most time was doing due diligence and researching properties before I purchased them. Number one, now that has significantly decreased because I have the software, but also I'm just way more experienced, so my eyes are different. But a newbie investor can learn. The more time that you put into doing your research, obviously the better that you will get. You start to recognize what to look for. I have a very specific kind of criteria that I look for. So for me, it's kind of like bing, 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 bing. Yes, no, yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And then from here, I have different like levels. So if they make this first yes list, then I'm like, okay, now do this. Okay, yes, now do this. So then by the time I get to the auction, I'm very clear on how much I'm going to bid, what I can sell it for, how quickly it will sell, what is the market doing. So again, and I'm doing this without having to pay for title searches. I do have VAs that help me, but even if you don't have the budget for a VA, like you can learn to do this yourself. So I do go more in depth with teaching this during the 5-day challenge. The next 5-day challenge that I'm hosting is going to be August 26th through the 30th. We're going to be talking about how to leverage land. You guys may or may not know this, but I like to focus on land. Is a particular strategy that I came up with just because of lack of resources, right? But investing in land allowed me to make 6 figures within 12 months. So and when I started off, I didn't have anyone to teach me like tax deed investing, nor did I have anyone to teach me about land. I just knew. I started off in the wholesaling space and I understood how to analyze deals. So because I understood how to analyze deals, I just applied that knowledge to tax liens and tax deeds. And don't get me wrong, like it was a great skill set. It is a great skill set, but I still ran into my issues and I just kind of was learning on the job. But thank God for looking out for me, because I was able to navigate pretty awesome deals and some challenging deals because of my network. I reached out to my network. I had people that I could talk to. Again, your girl was just out here just messing around and finding out. So from there, I have now been able to teach other people to do the same. And where I started off with no software, now I have software. So I do feel like all things are working in alignment. If you made one deal from this software, the software will pretty much pay for itself probably for at least 2 years. So if you're looking to really get serious about investing in tax lien certificates, definitely jump on here. Some of the things that are coming soon is I'm going to go crazy in this section. So this education section, I will be uploading webinars, videos, articles to help you guys understand how to use this. Trent, so yes, okay, so one thing that, again, we're learning on the job here, right? No one taught me how to like create a software. All right. So literally I come to you guys and I ask you guys, like, what do you need from me? How can I make this better for you? So just from other people and my personal experiences, now I understand like, oh, y'all need real deal training. So I'm going to be putting in a 7-day series so that when you first log in, it's a 7-day free trial. And within those 7 days, I really want you to have a really good understanding for how to use this software and how, it can help take you to the next level. So yes, that is coming soon. It is coming soon. I don't like to do things without like, just to do them. You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, you just want to sell stuff. First of all, creating these things is hard. Creating resources and tools and ebooks and courses and webinars is hard. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But one thing I do is, because y'all been rocking with me since the very beginning, I will come to you guys and say, hey, what do you guys need? Hey, I'm doing this thing. Check it out. Let me know what you need. So just from, obviously conversation and Trent, you in the comments, you let me know like, hey, does it come with training? I got you. The training is coming. So I will portion it out in 7 days. Hopefully my goal is to make it easy to digest so that even the newest of newbie investors can understand how to use the tool, because I understand that this tool is super powerful. So for a lot of people, I was hearing like, hey, this is like overwhelming. So I was like, all right, boom, let me break it down. Easy to understand pieces. And just to circle back, not sure how long you guys were here, but the portfolio portion that I was telling you about, this feature is available on the higher tier. But just to give you an understanding, if you are investing in a lot of tax lien certificates, you can literally upload your data here. When you upload it, it will tell you how many assets you have, how many are open, what is your principal invested, what's your total interest, how much you're going to redeem, and what your market value is. This is huge Okay, let's just boil it all down. We're going to do simple law of averages. Okay. A lot of people think that you have to have a lot of real estate to change your life. You really don't. And you don't have to be some sort of genius. You don't have to hit a lick. This is literally the law of averages. If you do something enough times, eventually you're going to get a yes. So if we apply that to tax lien certificates, if you're working with a super small budget, right? Let's say you got $1,000. That's all you got. If you have $1,000 and you buy 10 tax lien certificates, let's say you get 10 tax lien certificates at $100 a pop, 90% 90% of your tax lien certificates is going to redeem. You're probably going to make anywhere between 12 to 15% of your money, depending on where you invest, right? But you might be able to take possession of one of those tax lien certificates. If you did that for 5 years, not only would you grow your $1,000, right? So now your $1,000 is $1,000 plus your interest, right? And if you just continue to reinvest that, guess what? You're going to continue to get money to grow your money. But you can actually take possession of the property. And long term, what that looks like is if you get one property a year, in 5 years, you'll have 5 properties. That's 5 doors. It doesn't take a whole lot of real estate to change your life. One well-placed piece of real estate, one piece of real estate that you got under market value can change your life. So when we're thinking about it in terms of like, hey, I'm just going to continue to do this action so that I can, possibly have an opportunity to, grow my real estate portfolio. If you did that for 10 years, you would have 10 pieces of property. Not only would you have 10 pieces of property, you would have 10 pieces of property and you would have a larger amount of money than what you started with if you started investing with $1,000. This is why hedge funds invest in tax lien certificates. It is by far one of the safest vehicles for investing. A lot of people that are saving for retirements, if you have a 401k, you should be investing your own money in tax lien certificates, because where your 401k might be getting you 4 to 5%, if you got a CD, 6% if you sexy, you could be making 12 to 15%. That's an average number. Now, if you're really aggressive with it, you could be making 18% up to 20 to 25%. There are some states that offer 36%. And if you in Big Texas gives you 25% every 6 months. Every 6 months on their redeemable deeds. So like when I tell you guys, it doesn't matter who the president is. It doesn't matter what recession we in. It doesn't matter what pandemic is happening. They are still going to be selling these tax deposit properties. You need to learn this skill set. And it's always going to be happening. So if you learn it once, you'll always have the tools to go back, invest. Maybe the timing might not be right for you now, but 3 months from now, you could be in a very different position. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to learn this skill set so by the time the tax season rolls around, you don't just blow your $10,000 return if you get that much. Listen, if you get a return, you don't just blow your $10,000 return. You go and get you some property. You can absolutely score you some land for less than $5,000. The cheapest I have personally ever purchased property for was $1,300. I bought a house for $3,000 off this software. $3,000, and I sold it for $25,000. Okay, so essentially, I've pretty much paid for this software for the year. Okay, so you can get it for a monthly subscription, or you can also get pay for the year, and you get 3 months free. But it's definitely something that, hey, you're going to be getting your education. If you guys are joining me for the 5-day challenge, you will get information on the software as well. I will also teach you how to do your due diligence outside of the software, for just in case you don't have it. I don't want you to just be crippled, but honestly, it really does save you time if you do have the software to just help you to make decisions faster. Okay. And then the wholesaling aspect of it, I'm going to be building out an entire wholesaling section to let my wholesalers know how they can also leverage this software. So there's a lot of education stuff that is coming. If you guys have any questions or you're looking for resources, please check in the link in my bio. Go to redlotuschic.com. You will find all the links there. The next 5-day challenge is August 26th through the 30th. And then you can always get access to the software. Okay. Do I have any other questions? I don't know who's new here. I see a lot of new people joining. Hey, Linda. Hey, The God Victory. Hey, Deanne. Hey, Earthbender. Ooh, Earthbender. I have an avatar tattoo. You can't see it, but I literally have an avatar tattoo. What's up, Fritz? Hey, Kenneth. Hey, Adrienne. What's up? What's up? Hey, Munoz. So if you guys are new here and you have never been here, you're new to my page, drop a 1 in the comments for me. Thank you for the roses, Rico. Let me see who I have here that's like brand spanking new. If you're brand spanking new, never been here before, don't know what tax liens or tax deeds are, drop a 1 in the comments for me. If you have been here, y'all tap the screen and give me some hearts. Thank you, Kimberly. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm a real estate investor, credit repair specialist, and business funding expert, and also the founder of the Parcel Finder, which is this super cool software that helps you to save time when you are researching your tax defaulted properties. Okay, just imagine PropStream meets tax lien and tax deed sales. So that's what this software does. It gives you tax lien and tax deed sales. You can also go to like the auction calendar. It'll help you to plan out like, hey, these auctions are coming up at this time. No one's talking to you, Google. So you can actually see, hey, these auctions are coming up. So we have some in Florida, we have some in Ohio, we have some in Colorado. Interesting. One founder of Social Saturation. Can we connect here on or on LinkedIn? What is social saturation? Definitely, what I would tell you, if you want to message me, you can definitely send me a message on LinkedIn or on Instagram. Because if you send me a message on TikTok, it just gets lost. It gets lost. So LinkedIn, or I would prefer Instagram, but I understand if you do. Okay, LinkedIn. All right, shoot me a message there. That's fine. I'll be sure to log in and check. But yeah, so you can plan out your auction. So this is just to show you, this is how many auctions are taking place in a month. Sometimes you guys ask me like, have you been to all these other states? And I'm like, I don't know if y'all know, but Florida is lit. Like Florida is lit. I don't have to go anywhere because Florida is constantly having sales. And not only are they constantly having sales, I could bid from the comfort of my office. I just need my laptop. That's all I need. Okay. So awesome. Okay. So yeah, Florida keeps me busy. However, if you are in other states and your state is not listed on the national map, okay, because just a reminder, respectfully, can you say you're from Hollywood, Florida? You want to start there? Awesome. Okay, so let me go back to the national map, because you got to remember there are 2 maps on here. One is for the tax lien, tax deed side of things, and the other one is total nationwide data. Okay, both are useful, and you just have to understand the capabilities of both maps. Now, if you only get the gold package, you're only going to get the tax lien, tax deed side of things and the county held. But for some people, that is more than enough. Now, if you are coming, you said, Ken, you said you're from Hollywood, so that's going to be Fort Lauderdale. Now, I'm not sure if Fort Lauderdale is on here, because Fort Lauderdale has their own tax site. Is Miami-Dade County on here? Miami-Dade is on here. Oh, why am I talking about Fort Lauderdale and not looking for Broward? Sleep. Here's Broward. It's been a while since I've been home. So you can look at Broward tax deed properties here. So I just clicked on Broward, and here we have 80 properties that are coming up for auction. And you can see here, let me move this chat box real quick. These are the properties that are being auctioned. So you can take a look. Now, some of these are, yeah, you can tell, Ken. It's been a minute. Some of these, like this is most likely a condo, because if you look, it says 1 bed, 1 bath. It's not the entire complex. It's going to be a condo. Okay. This is most likely a condo, but listen, condos, I mean, that's high price real estate in Broward County. We already know, like, if you score a condo, you could turn that into long-term rental or Airbnb or something, just depending on the location. But yeah, these are some of the properties that are going to be auctioned off in 26 days. So you can take a really good look at the list. And then again, what I really love, let's just say this Lauderhill, Florida. We click on this, we look at the property card, and you can see it says 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So this is a condo. But if you go to the auction, click here for auction. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if y'all can see where it takes you. I don't think y'all can see this. Oh no, you can't see it. Okay, good. It takes you right to the auction site. So you can, it really helps you. Again, if you're like, hey, I don't know where this auction site is. Well, how is the auction held? It tells you where it's held. It tells you if it's online. It tells you the case number. You can go right to the property assessor site and it'll pull up the actual property. So again, when I say this, it saves you time, it saves you time. Awesome. Respectfully, Ken. Oh, I'm so glad. Be sure to leave your girl a Google review. That's all I ask. I'm like, hey, if you found this helpful, drop me a review on Google. So actually, Ken, the next 5-day challenge that I'm hosting, I'm bringing my brothers in and we're going to be talking about group homes as an exit strategy. So we'll still do the land thing, but I'm going to focus on the group homes, and I'm bringing in both of my brothers to talk about like how to establish a group home, what you can expect, how to get certified, how to hire, those kind of things. So our group homes, people ask us about our business all the time, and I'm like, maybe we should just do a challenge on that. So I like to keep things fresh and new, and that's one of the things that we're going to be doing on the next 5-day challenge, which is going to be August 26th through the 30th. All right. I'm gonna see if I can pull some comps for this one. See what it says. Okay, so here I just pulled up. Do that one, Ken. Definitely do that one. If you go to my Instagram, and if you text the word, like on any video, #challenge, you can get a 25% off promo code. Like on any video, just put #challenge, you can get a 25% off promo code. There's also a number you can text, but I don't remember the number off the top of my head. I don't know all of my numbers, y'all. So y'all please excuse me. I can be real scatterbrained at times. All right. So if you see that I pull comps for condos within a half a mile radius, and it's telling me like, hey, these properties sold in 2021. Now, one thing I'm going to ask them to do, because I like to sort data, and I would like, me personally, I don't know if this is going to be possible, but I'm going to ask the developers to be able to sort this based off of date, because obviously the more recent the comp, the better it is. So we can see, hey, some property sold in 2021, but we want stuff that sold in 2024. So sometimes, okay, we have one that sold for $140,000, 2-bedroom, 2-bath in 2023. When did this sell? 2023. Yeah, we have that one comp, but yeah, definitely getting the dates is something I'm gonna ask for. Or not the dates, but rather to be able to do it based off of filtering the data so that we can see the newest comps first. Because yeah, we have a ton of comps. You can get a very good idea of what your property can sell for, but just at a glance, if you're a tax deed investor and you want to know like, hey, what's the max that I can go up to, this data is super useful, because you already know like, hey, condos are selling for this amount in this area. Now I know how to set my max bid. So again, super powerful tool for those of you that are like, yeah, I want to get serious about this thing and I want to invest in tax defaulted properties. Even if you were just using this to build out your retirement fund, or just again take possession of properties, it's a super powerful tool that can just help to streamline your process. We're building it out every day. It's only going to get better from here, guys. Do I have any other questions? If I don't have any other questions, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off now. I will definitely come back and do more informational videos like in this format so that you guys can get more of this training. If you guys are not already following me, be sure to follow me. I will be posting more informational stuff. If you're like, hey, I don't know anything about tax liens or tax deeds, I have a playlist of like tax liens and tax deeds that's very informational. And then, of course, I have the upcoming 5-day challenge, which is going to be August 26th through the 30th. I will be teaching on this very thing. How to do your due diligence, how you can make 6 figures within 12 months of investing. So definitely take advantage of the training. This is not just something where I'm going to give you fluff. I'm actually giving you actionable steps, resources, tools for you guys to use so that you can learn how to make money from investing in tax defaulted properties. Liz Ban says this is called the Parcel Finder. This is my software. You can find it on redlotuschick.com. It's like the second tab. Maybe let me type this right. So when you go here, you're going to go to redlotuschick.com and it's going to be the third tab. Okay, so you're just going to go to Parcel Finder. And again, if you guys were interested, the tickets for the 5-day challenge are here. If you wanted to watch the webinar, absolutely. You guys can take a look at the webinar, get to know me a little bit. I do not mind. And like I mentioned, I'm bringing on my brothers so that we're going to do a special feature on group homes, which is our family business. They cash flow us 5 figures a month. I've made over 6 figures in 12 months by investing in tax defaulted properties. I like to focus on land, but you will get a ton of information. You're going to be learning from real estate investors that are in the field and doing deals every day. This is not something we used to do. This is something we're currently doing. So it's a great opportunity to learn from people that are doing things now. I find that a lot of times with, I'm not going to say any names, but with other training programs, you're learning from people that used to do things, and maybe they're a few years removed, so maybe those things are not relevant or those things don't work anymore. So yeah, if you're trying to learn from people that are doing these things day in and day out, definitely join us for the challenge. You can find the link for the Parcel Finder right here, so you can see the page and you can get started. The training modules are going to be up within like, I want to say like next week, where you get those 7 days of training. So yeah, you guys can definitely sign up, try it out, see if it works for you. If not, you can cancel it before the 7 days. So that's all I got for y'all, folks. That is all I got. I am going to log off now. All right, Ken, let me know if you have any issues. If not, I'll just make sure that you get that promo code once you follow the steps. Hey, the Dark Horse, you're very, very welcome. All right, guys, I'm logging off for now. All right, have a good one. Bye.
I already got my shoes.